world records, and a few weeks ago, an official came to record her attempt in front of friends, family, and many of her former students.
I'm so glad that I did try, that we did all that work. So now I'm not going to look back and say, I wish I would have tried.
My goodness, Donna Jean, she is a rock star. And the rules were pretty strict. Donna Jean could not wear shoes and her hands and feet could not leave the ground. But her husband was allowed to bring her water, which she could sip through a straw. And coming up in our next hour of Good Morning Northwest, fire crews called out early this morning after a fire breaks out in a Kennewick neighborhood. What we know so far. And we are learning more about a shooting and car crash in Moses Lake this morning, what authorities are telling us about the investigation. And the city of Pasco has officially dissolved a controversial nonprofit organization that was supposed to help improve the downtown area, what people had to say during the public hearing. Plus, meteorologist Tiffany Savona has your full weather forecast. Good Morning Northwest starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal. The time is 6 a.m. on Tuesday, April 16th. Let's check in now on your forecast with meteorologist Tiffany Savona. Tiffany, it is pretty freezing out there, in my opinion.
It definitely feels like the freezing mark in some locations, Jessica, because of the wind. Now, the wind has come down since yesterday, but there's still somewhat of a breeze out there. So our air temperature is colder than where we were at this time yesterday, and that wind contributing to a wind chill factor. So right now we're at 40 in Tri-Cities, 41 in Walla Walla, 43 Pendleton and Hermiston, and we're in the 30s, 36 in Yakima. Now the winds are up anywhere between 5 and about 15 miles per hour. So that's making it feel like it's in the 30s area wide. And look at Cle Elum. It feels like 20 this morning. So it feels like 37 in Tri-Cities, 35 Walla Walla, and 36 degrees in Toppenish. Those are the numbers you need to dress for as you step outside. So hopefully you didn't pack away your heavy winter coat just yet, and you'll need it going forward this week in the mornings. So here is your planner for the Tri-Cities. By 8 o'clock, 48 degrees, middle 50s by the middle of the day with some sunshine, and then the clouds will thicken up once again, 62 degrees. Overall, I think we'll see more clouds than sunshine today. Yakima, 43 by 8 o'clock, middle 50s by noon, 58 degrees by 5. So much cooler than those 80s that we saw this past weekend, right? 44 in Walla Walla at 8, and we're only looking at highs in the middle 50s by later on this afternoon with a lot of clouds. Now, if your allergies have been bothering you, we'll have that allergy forecast letting you know when we could get a little bit of relief. Plus, we'll have that 7-day coming up in a bit. Jessica?
Thank you, Tiffany. And firefighters worked to put out a fire that broke out in a backyard area in a Kennewick neighborhood early this morning. So the call for help came in just before 1 a.m. after flames could be seen in the backyard area of a cluster of houses on South Irby Street. Firefighters got to the scene and were able to put the fire out quickly, but there was a heavy haze and smell of smoke in the air. Crews spent some time moving around the backyards to make sure the fire was out and wasn't smoldering anywhere, and the cause of the fire has not yet been released. Also, a fire caused significant damage to an Ellensburg apartment complex near Central Washington University over the weekend. Reporter Emily Goodell spoke to fire officials who say the aftermath isn't as bad as it could have been.
Fire officials say the good news is that no one was seriously injured in the fire. They were able to stop it from spreading to nearby buildings, and thanks to a policy the apartment complex has in place for renters, they should be able to have some help starting over. Kittitas Valley Fire and Rescue Chief Rich Elliott says the fire started just before 2 a.m. Sunday in an upstairs unit of the Campus Village apartment complex.
It was actually a little bit lucky that the person who did discover the fire just happened to have gotten up to get something out of the kitchen and noticed it.
The fire believed to be accidental, but the cause still under investigation.
They are pursuing the possibility of disposal of smoking material, but that is not conclusive at this time.
One vehicle lost in the fire, another 2 damaged. 6 units uninhabitable due to fire or water damage. And with power cut off to the building, fire officials say a dozen people are displaced.
We've had contact with those people and the Red Cross, or they're working with friends. Couple cases, Central Washington University is assisting people.
But for those who lost everything, Elliott says there's hope. because the property management company requires residents to have renter's insurance.
So for a relatively low cost, these people will have their belongings insured and largely replaced.
The average cost for renter's insurance in Washington state, $14 a month. But over 40% of renters don't have it.
Sadly, the majority of people who are renting occupancies have either opted for or don't understand that renter's insurance might not be included in that transaction. So it's underutilized.
Because it's not just for fires.
If somebody breaks a water pipe over the top of you, or if there is a weather-related, issue, that cost obviously pays off many times in terms of investment. So obviously people make choices, and without renter's insurance, this is harder to absorb.
Fire officials say it's a good reminder for people to check their smoke detectors to make sure they're functioning and to look into their insurance policy and make sure they're covered in case of fire. Reporting in Ellensburg, Emily Goodell, Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, Emily. In a crime alert now, we're learning more about a shooting investigation in Moses Lake. Deputies say 2 vehicles were heading south on Arnold Drive. There was gunfire between the 2 vehicles. One involved car even rammed the other, causing both cars to crash. And one of the cars struck 2 parked cars. Authorities say they've learned some new details.
We're positive it's gang members this time, yeah. And most of the time when we have shootings in Moses Lake, that's gang related. We don't have very many shootings that aren't gang related. Most of the time they are, and this one definitely was.
One person in one of those cars was taken to the hospital but is expected to be okay. All other involved people from both vehicles ran from the scene. And the state auditor's office has released reports about 2 police shootings in the Tri-Cities that happened in 2021. The auditor's office says overall, the local law enforcement agencies that are involved are following the rules for following up after an officer uses deadly force. These audits give state lawmakers, law enforcement, and the public a glimpse of how well Washington laws are working at holding police accountable. Investigators have to make sure that the use of deadly force is not investigated by any officers from the law enforcement agency connected with the incident itself. They have to make sure only the investigators have full access to the case file, and they have to give weekly updates while the investigation is going on. The state audited the investigation into a use of force incident involving Richland police in February of 2021. One person was hurt in that shooting. The auditor's office says investigators didn't notify the man's family about updates in the case because he was still alive, and they notified him instead. They're recommending a clarification to the law for these cases. The auditor's office also says investigators need to document the steps they take to make sure only authorized people have access to the case file. The state made the same recommendation on a deadly police shooting from August of 2021. That investigation was significantly more complicated because of how many law enforcement agencies were involved, but the state says investigators did almost everything right. The audit shows investigators did not notify family members about 2 updates before those updates were released. The city of Pasco held a public hearing during its regularly scheduled council meeting last night to decide the fate of the Downtown Pasco Development Authority. The hearing was short, but there was no shortage of friction on the subject.
Don't throw these advantages away. With the new bridge and the Downtown Pasco Development Plan, it would be prudent to maintain DPDA to participate in the future of Downtown Pasco. Once dissolved, it'll be gone forever, and that would be very sad indeed.
So for the city to say, "Oh, we don't get involved," but you took their assets, you took their.
You can wrap it up, Mr.
Well, I think this is an open public meeting. I don't have 3 minutes, Mr. Mayor.
I think it's time to dissolve this thing, and maybe on a future date we can entertain another entity to be a 501c3. But I would advise this board tonight to dissolve this, and so we can move on.
I move to adopt ordinance number 4711, formally dissolving the Downtown Pasco Development Authority, and further authorize publication by summary only.
Second.
With that, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none. Passes unanimously.
Took to social media after the council meeting to tell the public while he didn't have much to say during the meeting, the DPDA was a, quote, zombie that couldn't be killed and that he was glad it's gone. Perales went on to say the next step is to hold those accountable for losing the community's trust and get justice. And we'll have more on this story tonight on Apple Valley News Now at 5 and 6. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, the House is at it again, putting TikTok back on the ban list. This time, the House members don't want the Senate to stop them.
Hello, Shelby.
Hello, Mariano.
Upload Mrs. Robinson's case.
Processing.
Is there any new information?
The insurance offer is too low. Should I ask for more?
You know, when they hear from the heavy hitter, they'll pay much more.
The heavy hitter is the one for you. Call 853-2222.
From Apple Valley News Now, this is Medically Speaking.
Atomic Health pays me to do the in-home, I guess, nursing or the things I do to help out, so we don't need a nurse. Meds, cooking, cleaning, getting them to doctor's appointments, picking up prescriptions, whatever else needs to be done. So at least once a month or whenever I need her, Sarah, or whatever nurse is available, comes to our house. If I have a worry that I'm not sure if he needs to go to the doctor, she comes and advises me and does an assessment and tells me if there's anything I need to do different, or I don't know that I could do this without him.
So we'll definitely evaluate their past employment. As a registered nurse myself, I'll look through their medical records and I'll look to see maybe what medical conditions they have, and we'll be very upfront with them, honest about whether they do have a claim that could warrant benefits or not.
Shelby's Floral, your homegrown neighbor with worldwide connections for over 45 years. Shelby's, more than just a flower shop, specializing in beautiful custom arrangements, live plants, silk florals, and home decor. We're unique, and we're here for all of life's occasions, all year long. Shelby's Floral at the corner of Clearwater and Edison in Kennewick. Stop by today and let our experienced designers help you with all of your floral needs. Shelby's Floral.
Time for a new roof? Let Eminent Roofing replace it with a product so good you'll never have to replace it again. Our roofs come with the limited lifetime warranty. Never replace your roof again.
With the rain and wind comes roof damage. Don't wait till it's an emergency. Call today to receive 0% financing on approved credit.
So if it's time for a new roof or siding, let Eminent Roofing replace it with our certified installers.
Because when it's all said and done, this is the sign you'll want in your yard.
Hello, Shelby.
Hello, Mariano.
Upload Mrs. Robinson's case.
Processing.
Is there any new information?
The insurance offer is too low. Should I ask for more?
You know, when they hear from the heavy hitter, they'll pay much more.
The heavy hitter is the one for you. Call 853-2222.
A great hike in a great park. Fly the Northwest tonight at 6.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. A new bill to ban TikTok could be up for a House vote this week. It's different than one the chamber passed last month with strong bipartisan support. Sources say this time the ban is tucked into a set of 4 separate bills. Reporter Amy Kiley says this could make the ban harder for the Senate to ignore.
We won't be voting on the Senate supplemental.
Instead, House Speaker Mike Johnson says he hopes to pass 4 separate bills this week. 3 have aid for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan. Sources say the 4th includes a ban on TikTok.
That has some of the things with regard to the loan lease option and the Repo Act and some other sanctions on Iran and other measures that we've been talking about here for quite some time.
The Senate has yet to take up a different TikTok bill the House passed with strong bipartisan support last month. It would ban the platform from U.S. app stores unless it spun off from its Chinese parent company. Supporters of that measure say TikTok is a national security risk.
We cannot rule out that the CCP could use it.
TikTok says about 170 million Americans use the platform. Banning it faces opposition.
You are voting against my small business. You are voting against me getting a slice of my American pie.
This is where entertainment happens. This is where the commentary and analysis of entertainment world happens. This is where education happens.
The House bills could hold some appeal for Democrats. They've been trying to pass foreign aid for months. But the White House prefers a Senate package that does not ban TikTok.
What we want to see is that bipartisan national security supplemental that passed overwhelmingly 70-29 in the Senate.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
The House has the ability to combine the 4 bills after greenlighting them separately, and that might be a tough sell with GOP headliners in the chamber, but it could make it easier for the Senate to pass the package. And coming up on Good Morning Northwest, It's a show that depends on your vote for the outcome. We're talking American Idol, the contestants now whittled down from 20, and we highlight a couple to give you a sneak peek. Plus, meteorologist Tiffany Savona has your first alert full forecast. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
It's the biggest sale of the season at Furniture Row, so get ready because everything is on sale. Save on living, dining, and bedroom. Plus, 4 years, no interest. The biggest sale of the season on now at Furniture Row.
Take advantage of the tax credits you can, including the annual Washington State Working Families Tax Credit. You can get money back on state taxes already paid. Visit workingfamiliescredit.wa.gov.
There was a time when you could get a complete meal for just $5, but you gotta go way back. Well, just a Tuesday. Yes, Tuesdays at A&W, single Papa Burger combos complete with fries and a root beer cost just $5. This all-time great deal is available Tuesdays only at A&W. KFC's fan favorite country fried steak is just $5.99 every Wednesday. It's a complete meal with your favorite sides. Best of all, it's just $5.99. Country fried steak, $5.99 Wednesdays only at KFC.
April is National Foot and Ankle Health Awareness Month. Maintain a healthy weight. Excess pounds can cause stress, fractures, and foot issues. More at AppleValleyNewsNow.com.
Prosser Orthopedic Center podiatrist Dr. Jerry Clifford is accepting new patients. This is how we care.
The average cost of hearing aids is nearly $5,000, but now you can buy a full pair of rechargeable, wireless, nearly invisible, easy to use, and comfortable hearing devices for only $99. But only from Audient.
It's easy to use.
They're small.
A pair of $99 Audient Atoms can be sold over the phone without having to see a doctor or audiologist. Call to order.
1-800-617-3809.
It's the biggest sale of the season at Furniture Row, so get ready because everything is on sale. Save on living, dining, and bedroom. Plus, 4 years, no interest. The biggest sale of the season on now at Furniture Row.
Go for a hike in a very beautiful park.
Observation deck. It's a great place to see particularly the migratory waterfalls. It's quite crowded in the spring. Right now it's red-winged blackbirds.
Fly the Northwest over Liberty Lake Park. Apple Valley News Now at 6 tonight.
How would you flirt with me in French?
Maybe you don't irritate me so much, no?
Next live, actor Jeremy Sisto, plus Shogun star Anna Sawai.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
Smoke City for Less. We are open 7 days a week with now 5 locations.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Tiffany Savona.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. It was a windy day yesterday. In fact, those wind gusts got up to 65 miles per hour in Ellensburg. So once you see wind gusts above 60 miles per hour, that's when you could see some damage. So it was certainly tough to drive along I-90 yesterday, and we're going to have that same problem again today. Hermiston, you saw wind gusts up to 46. Your highest wind gust in Pendleton, 43. Walla Walla and Yakima topped out at 37, and Tri-Cities, our highest wind gust, 33 miles per hour. Now, overall, across much of the region, it's not going to be as windy as yesterday. There's still going to be a breeze, though, and we're seeing that this morning. Winds primarily along the east slopes of the Cascades and also along the foothills of the Blues, anywhere between 10 and 20 miles per hour. Columbia Basin wind speeds are a little bit lower. Now, because of that breeze, it feels even colder. So these are the numbers you need to dress for. We're talking about wind chills this morning. It's been a while since we've talked about wind chills. It feels like 37 in Tri-Cities when you factor in that breeze. Feels like 36 Connell, 31 in Yakima, Cle Elum. It feels like a frigid 19 degrees at this hour. It feels like 30 in Ellensburg and 35 in Walla Walla. So be sure to find that heavy winter coat. You'll likely need it this morning. And we have some cold mornings ahead as well. So don't pack it away just yet for the season. Now, like I mentioned, it's not going to be as windy today. However, there's an exception, and that's across the Kittitas Valley, where a wind advisory has been extended through today, 1 o'clock to 8 o'clock. That's when the winds will be the strongest, sustained 25 to 35 miles per hour, gusting up to 50 at times. So keep that in mind if you have plans to travel along I-90 there. It'll be a two-hand on the steering wheel kind of day. You'll really need to take it easy as you travel along that stretch of highway. We're taking a live look at our Legends Casino Hotel Skycam in Richland. Look at all those trees blooming, contributing to those high pollen counts, right? The sun now up and the sun sets at 7:46, but we do have a fair amount of cloud cover out there right now. And I think the clouds are going to dominate the day today. So here's the weather pattern. We have an upper level system overhead that'll keep around the clouds. It'll keep that cooler weather around. Tomorrow, this upper level system shifts east a little bit. So we'll have our warming trend beginning as a ridge of high pressure starts to develop offshore. And that will start to feel the influence of that high pressure system as we head toward the end of the work week. That's why we'll see a gradual warming trend after today, that is. Today will be the coolest day out of the next 7. Not nearly as windy, but mostly cloudy. 62 Tri-Cities, middle 50s along the foothills of the Blues, and 58 in Yakima for a high temperature. Tonight, we drop back down into the 30s. It'll be partly cloudy. Those winds will diminish. Maybe some patchy frost if we do see some breaks in the clouds. So remember, it is too early to start planting, too early to start up those gardens, as we can still see frost this time of year. Your allergies, if they've been bothering you, it's because the tree pollen has been in that high range. That'll be the case again today, tomorrow, and then we'll start to see a little bit of relief, if you can call it that, by Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, but you're still going to want to have those medications close by. 7-day forecast showing that we're back into the 70s on Friday in the Tri-Cities. Weekend looking pretty nice. Lower 70s, 74 for Earth Day next Monday. Yakima 58 today, lower 60s tomorrow, and middle 60s this weekend. Certainly not as warm as last weekend, but we don't have any rain in the forecast. 56 today, Walla Walla 59 tomorrow, but then we're back in the 60s starting Thursday. Hermiston breezy today, 60, and then we'll see those mid and upper 60s return by the end of the week and into the upcoming weekend. Jessica?
Thank you, Tiffany. And it's time for some entertainment news now. Okay, Riley, question for you.
Yes.
When you were little, what kind of pet did you want?
I had a little bit of I wanted the weird
I kind of wanted weird things too. I wanted turtle.
I
guess turtles aren't weird. No offense to anyone who has a turtle.
I wanted a ferret or a chinchilla.
Ferrets were cool.
Yeah.
Okay, well, get this. So it's the parenting pet debacle that TikTok can't get enough of. An Oklahoma dad, Cameron Clifford, made his son's lifelong dream come true by getting him an octopus named Terrence.
Great
name, right? So just one problem. Terrence was actually a mom-to-be, and soon the Clifford family went from having one octopus to 50.
Oh no.
Yeah, so from leaking tanks to ballooning costs, they're documenting every step of their aquatic adventure on social media. Ugh. After Finding Dory, I've always wanted an octopus.
I understand.
Yeah, he was just cute in the movie.
What do you do with 50 octopus?
I don't know. What's also the plural of octopus? I don't know. Octopi,
yes,
there we go. Well, for this story, you can watch the full thing on Good Morning America. It's coming up at 7 a.m. And next, American Idol began last night's telecast with 20 singers still in the competition. Do you watch that?
I used to.
I used to also. I watched the first season with Kelly Clarkson, and then I kind of forgot about it.
Yep.
2 hours later, it was down to the top 14.
ABC's George Pannacchio talked with the judges and the singers right after the show.
Listen, I'll just take the top 20. I started my own record company. Forget about all this.
American Idol judge Lionel Richie is beyond impressed with the talent he's seeing this season. America's votes cut the top 20 in half, and the judges saved 4 of the other singers to make the top 14, including Roman Collins from Long Beach, California, and Jana Elise from Washington, D.C.
I'm like, damn, I made it to the top 14 of American Idol, and to me that's already a dream come true, so I'm just trying to enjoy every moment.
I watch these kind of shows, why are they so emotional? They know it's a competition, but I get it now. We genuinely love each other. We pray together, we cry together, we laugh together. So either way it's going to happen, we're all okay.
We no longer can save anyone, so don't hope for the best with us, because we out of here. It's America. What if I don't deserve it?
I want to tour. I want to do this. I want to write songs for big artists, and I think I can now. It's just really, really cool.
I'm a kid who learned how to play guitar 3.5 years ago now. Started singing after that. So I'm green. I'm fresh to this whole process.
my American Idol is Kelly Clarkson, so if I ever became an American Idol, that would be a full circle moment to my 5-year-old self who watched the show religiously.
While Judge Luke Bryan didn't want to single out any one contestant, he is impressed by Tristan Harper, the youngest singer still in it, a well-mannered teenager whose life hasn't been easy.
When you think about a 15-year-old kid out there doing what he's able to do, it's pretty special.
We come from having nothing to sleeping on the streets, now being here, and I'm doing a press with ABC.
Wow.
So I've seen, like, what is that, America's Got Talent, that
Yes.
one? There's just so many singing shows now, but I don't know.
The
This looks like a good
Masked
season.
Singer and this
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
The Voice is a
Yes.
really good one.
Yep.
The last one I watched was Ariana Grande's season, though. But you have to admit, the best episode is always the first one when they're really bad.
I
Those are the
agree.
most fun to watch.
I agree.
Exactly.
Well, American Idol returns twice next week on Sunday and Monday nights, and both nights 2 contestants will go home. It's getting dramatic.
Yeah, get your vote on. When we return on Good Morning Northwest, a very special moment at Whitman College. How tradition is brought back year after year with the hopes of a bountiful harvest. We'll be right back with that story out of Walla Walla.
Throw away your distance and reading glasses. Join Drs. Kopstein and King for a free live webinar April 25th. And find out if RLE is right for you. K2 Vision RLE. No readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts.
AbleFest is not to be missed.
Wednesday, it's the biggest party of the year.
I'm bringing a few friends myself.
Stallone, De Niro, you looking at me?
At the Pacific Clinic, we understand the juggle of parenthood. That's why the PC is your one-stop shop for all your health, sports, and medical needs. Schedule your appointments around your favorite group fitness classes and use our on-site childcare services.
From women's health to care for your little ones, we practice a comprehensive approach to keep your family feeling great.
With our quick and convenient scheduling, we'll get you in within the same week, often the next day. Call us today at 509-783-5465.
To see if you qualify for Hanford worker compensation, please call Smart Law for a free consultation at 1-877-630-1122. Workers and the families of deceased workers who worked at the Hanford site are now eligible for compensation for diseases and illnesses, including neurological, respiratory and heart conditions, cancers, and beryllium-related disorders. This may be in addition to compensation already being received. Call Smart Law at 1-877-630-1122 for Hanford worker compensation. Smart Law in Yakima and Tri-Cities.
Your best days of the year start here at Kubota Orange Days. It's the year's biggest selection of Kubota tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles, including the #1 selling compact tractor in the USA. Plus, get 0 down and 0% APR for 84 months or up to $2,800 off select Kubota tractors. Orange goes all day. Sales ending soon. Visit your local dealer today.
Find a Kubota dealer near you at gokubota.com.
Wake up, people! Rotten sleep means rotten moods, rotten backs, rotten health. Rotten breath goes without saying, but you're in luck.
Because during the biggest sale of the season, everything is on sale. Like the Summit Queen, now only $274.99. Save up to 50% on select Tempur-Adapt mattresses. Plus 4 years no interest and free shipping.
Kick that rotten sleep to the curb. Only at Denver Mattress. The easiest way to get the right mattress.
Hello there. Watch live with Kelly and Mark.
Weekday mornings at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Whitman College held its inaugural Salmon Film Festival over the weekend, and they kicked it off with a documentary about the connection between salmon and the Nez Perce tribe. But the festival went far beyond movie screens. Our very own Toby Solvang was there for the special Salmon Dance. Take a look.
The main element that ties us all is water, that we can spread awareness on the life of the salmon, but we must also look at the water. And that's what we're here to spread awareness on its numbers, population is diminishing. And maybe the song will call out to the fish again. Maybe those numbers will come back. So pray for it to come back in better numbers.
Hi
Heidi Katja Two Bears and her husband Tukish Winchkatya, also known as Tukish Man, of the Warm Springs Confederated Tribes of Oregon, led the audience in a rare public performance of the ceremonial salmon dance. The salmon dance recreates the migration of spawning salmon. The women and men line up separately, symbolizing how the fish also return separately to their spawning grounds. And in the end, the lines come together as the salmon do to spawn. The dance is meant to welcome the salmon back to spawn and thus continue the cycle of life. This is Toby Solvang with Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, Toby. And coming up on Good Morning Northwest, the Grant County Sheriff's Office wants to clear up one of its investigations. Also, how social media is causing some complications online in the case of a missing woman. And a major road that leads to the Seattle airport is back open after disruption due to protesters. We'll tell you what the issue was when we come back.
Wednesday, the Connors are back.
I'm scared, Daddy.
Celebrate a brand new season.
Maybe bring over a large bouquet of beers. I'm planning on making a stunning arrangement for my belly.
The Connors, new Wednesday on ABC.
Get $7,500 purchase allowance on most 2024 Cadillac Lyriq models. Visit your Yakima and Tri-Cities Cadillac dealer today.
Since 1968, Sundown M Ranch has helped over 200,000 patients and families recover from the effects of substance use disorders.
I was ashamed, humiliated, and not sure if I could be helped, but I listened and found a completely different way to live by spending time at Sundown.
I did not believe there was a way out of the dark hole my life had become. Sundown M Ranch provided a foundation for me to find a new way to live.
Sundown M Ranch. Today is the first day of the rest of your life.
Are you looking for a new car that's sporty, reliably fun, practical, with great fuel efficiency? Check out the new 2024 Kia Soul LX at Overturf Kia. New Kia Soul LX models start at just $20,490. Choose from 3 at this price, or get 4.99% interest for up to 60 months. Take delivery today or reserve a car that's on its way. Shop online anytime at overturfkia.com. Overturf Kia at the base of the Blue Bridge in Kennewick.
STCU and Apple Valley News Now honor local volunteers by sharing their stories and donating $1,000 to their favorite charities. To nominate someone who's making a difference in Benton and Franklin counties, just click on Volunteers Count at applevalleynewsnow.com.
Sometimes it's hard to see past the looming repair and replacement costs all around your house. Finally, you can stop seeing money and start saving money with First American Home Warranty. First American covers the systems and appliances you depend on every day. Air conditioning, refrigerator, washer and dryer, electrical, plumbing, and more.
If there's one guarantee in homeownership, it's that things are going to break down.
When an appliance or system breaks down, First American sends a trusted contractor to fix it.
And if they can't fix it, they will replace it.
Members pay low monthly rates with unlimited claims and 24/7 customer service.
We've saved thousands of dollars that we've been able to reinvest into our home.
All plans include a no questions asked money back guarantee and flexible payment options so you can never pay for covered repairs again.
Call 1-800-209-8578. That's 1-800-209-8578. Call now.
This newscast sponsored by Mariano Morales Law.
Right now on Good Morning Northwest, we catch up with the Grant County Sheriff's Office and the search for a missing woman with ties to Pasco. And a boost in federal funding gets a major construction project underway in Kittitas County. Also, meteorologist Tiffany Savona has your full weather forecast. Good Morning Northwest starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal. The time is 6:33 on Tuesday, April 16th. Let's start by checking in on your weather forecast with meteorologist Tiffany Savona. Tiffany, it's pretty cold out there. Not what I was expecting.
No, it's colder than where we were at this point yesterday morning, and we also have a breeze. So we're talking about wind chills as well. So we're running anywhere between 5 and about 18 degrees colder than where we were at this time yesterday. So no 50s on the map. In fact, a lot of us in the 40s and even some 30s popping up. We're at 39 right now in Prosser, 40, Tri-Cities, 36 in Yakima, and 41 in Toppenish. But now, since the sun is up, these numbers will start to rise. Now, with that wind, it feels even colder. So these are the numbers you need to dress for this morning. Feels more like the 30s area-wide. Feels like 35 in Walla Walla, 37 Tri-Cities, 31 in Yakima, and it feels like the 20s up in Cle Elum. So as you're getting the kids ready for school today, before they head out the door, make sure you give them the heavier coat, as temperatures will likely be rising through the 40s, but it'll still feel like the 30s. Now, it's going to be a cooler day overall, and we will see a lot of cloud cover, some sunshine here and there with high temperatures in the lower 60s. But after today, we'll see a warming trend. However, we're looking at some cold mornings ahead. We'll tell you why it's unsafe to plant just yet coming up in a bit. Jessica?
Thank you, Tiffany. The Grant County Sheriff's Office says it continues to investigate a missing woman case that also has ties to the Pasco area. Irene Fleming was last seen leaving a home on the 4900 block of Roadview Southwest in George on Sunday, February 25th. She was alone and she left without her car. Her family says they spoke to her after she was last seen, and she said she was in Wenatchee. There are a lot of rumors flying around, especially on social media, and the Sheriff's Office wants to clear them up.
We did have some people, and I don't know what connection they had to Irene or if they had any connection to Irene, but we certainly have a lot of spectators on the internet who I think were beginning to speculate or start putting information out there that was not accurate. At one point on social media, I did have to scold some people and let them know to be careful about making any assumptions and spreading any rumors, because we want to be able to track down factual information rather than try to interpret what the rumors are and then be led down the rabbit hole on that.
Fleming's family did reach out to us. We returned their call but have not yet heard back. The Sheriff's Office is asking if you see Fleming to please call them immediately. In Seattle, a group of protesters blocked the road leading to the SeaTac International Airport yesterday. The pro-Palestinian protest led to dozens of arrests, but the roadway reopened hours later. Cornelius Hawker spoke with frustrated drivers waiting to get to the airport.
For a little more than 3 hours, protesters demanding the U.S. stop sending money and weapons to Israel blocked the entrance into SeaTac. They laid on the ground, bound together in white suits covered in red paint, trying to get their message across.
Stop the bombs from dropping on civilians, stop the collective punishment, right?
Dana Sherholz came to document this protest, which backed up traffic and disrupted travel plans for countless people.
I know it makes so many people really mad, and I talked to a couple people who were mad, and I also talked to a couple people that got out of their cars and were saying, we support the cause.
Port of Seattle police arrested 46 people. A police spokesman said the protesters will likely face some sort of disorderly conduct charge. Even after arrests were made,
I'm just here to pick up my wife and my niece.
Delays continued.
They can't even get out here, and there's no way to get into the airport.
As we interviewed this man named Casey, there to pick up loved ones, another man named Mohammed, a rideshare driver, interrupted.
We can't just say, oh no.
Their conversation is one many Americans are having.
So how does this solve?
It doesn't solve nothing. It doesn't solve nothing.
So then they can get off the road and let people.
The thing is to disrupt.
The two men went back and forth for around 5 minutes, debating the impact of this protest and the reasons behind it. In the end, they agreed to disagree.
Thank you, sir. You know, it was great having a conversation with you.
Your right to protest.
Everybody has a way to do things, and if it's
disrupt, you have to respect us being disgruntled over it.
I respect that.
A reminder, always check in with the airlines you're traveling on to determine if there are any delays ahead of your arrival. And back here at home, a $1.8 million project to repave Vantage Highway in Kittitas County is now underway thanks to a boost in federal funding in the fall. Kittitas County Public Works officials say the highway is showing signs of wear and tear, like potholes that frequently require temporary repairs. Work includes removing and replacing 3 inches of road surface all the way from number 81 road to the Ellensburg city limits. County officials say there may be minor delays during weekdays, but the biggest impact to travelers will be between April 22nd and May 3rd.
The 2 weeks while we're milling and paving, the plan is to, through the work area, they'll close traffic heading eastbound and have them detour around and keep traffic westbound heading through the project limits.
Public Works officials say the work should be completed by early June. And it's a reliable sign of spring in our region. The Benton Conservation held its annual Salmon Summit in Columbia Park. It's also the grand finale for the Salmon in the Classroom program. About 1,400 fourth grade students from Richland School District have been raising salmon and learning about them in class. They released them into the river yesterday morning.
I think the biggest impact that this event has on helping the ecosystem is fostering a sense of stewardship in the students. By each releasing a fish into the river, a fish that they've cared for at school, then they kind of develop also a connection and feel responsible for taking care of the rivers.
Today is the last day for the Salmon Summit release in Kennewick. They'll be doing a smaller salmon release in Prosser sometime in early May. And up next on Good Morning Northwest, the 24th annual Cancer Crushing Breakfast is just a day away. Next, we hear from Riley Fitzgerald on how we can help support it.
Operation Best Friend on Good Morning Northwest, sponsored by Windermere Group 1.
Hit by a big truck in bad weather? There's a law that says truck drivers have a legal duty to use extreme caution when driving in hazardous conditions. Knowing these laws sets my truck wreck team apart. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the big truck heavy hitter. Big truck insurance companies know that we have the knowledge and experience to get you paid everything you deserve. Hit by a big truck? Our team knows truck wrecks and how to win for you. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
The heavy hitter is the one for you. Call 853-2222.
Stan's gonna ride the Nebula Drop Tower.
Finally! I'm ready to ascend to the clouds, to go where no dino has gone before. Goodbye, Earth. Hi, Alice!
Whoa! He doesn't know it comes back down?
Apparently not. I'll let you know when I hit orbit. Drop Tower, I get it.
Triple Play has fun attractions for everyone, including go-karts, mini golf, and many more, all attached to a cozy hotel.
You thought it would bust through the ceiling?
You came through a portal from another dimension. Weird stuff happens.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Now through June 30th, receive rebates up to $1,950 off on a new Daikin Fit system when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air.
There was a time when you could get a complete meal for just $5, but you gotta go way back. Well, just a Tuesday. Yes, Tuesdays at A&W, single Papa Burger combos complete with fries and a root beer cost just $5. This all-time great deal is available Tuesdays only at A&W. KFC's fan favorite country fried steak is just $5.99 every Wednesday. It's a complete meal with your favorite sides. Best of all, it's just $5.99. Country fried steak, $5.99 Wednesdays only at KFC.
What if getting older actually meant looking better, loving better, feeling better, and even being better with money? Well, this morning, see how 50 is the new 20. Plus, Huey Lewis with an epic throwback performance on Good Morning America.
Next, E.T.
Hey, E.T.
On set of the Spiderwick Chronicles.
Ah! Probably gave people a heart attack there, but it was fun. Okay, let's keep going.
Next, E.T.
Tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
Go for a hike in a very beautiful park.
Observation deck, it's a great place to see particularly the migratory waterfalls. It's quite crowded in the spring. Right now it's red-winged blackbirds.
Fly the northwest over Liberty Lake Park. Apple Valley News Now at 6 tonight.
How would you flirt with me in French?
Maybe you don't irritate me so much, no?
Next live, actor Jeremy Sisto. Plus, Shogun star Anna Sawai.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. It's breakfast for a good cause. The Tri-Cities Cancer Center Foundation is hosting its annual Cancer Crushing Breakfast tomorrow morning. Riley Fitzgerald joins us live now in studio to tell us all about this event. Good morning, Riley.
Well, good morning, Jessica. The 24th annual Cancer Crushing Breakfast is tomorrow morning, benefiting the Cadlick Tri-Cities Cancer Center. We'll also be celebrating 3 decades, 30 years of the Cadlick Tri-Cities Cancer Center being open, the region's only not-for-profit cancer treatment facility. Lori Lott, the Tri-Cities Cancer Foundation Senior Philanthropy Officer, says the foundation helps to support the Cancer Center's goal of providing resources and support.
The campus of the Cadlick Tri-Cities Cancer Center was built 30 years ago so that if there was someone in our community that was diagnosed with cancer, they wouldn't have to travel. We are the only not-for-profit cancer center clinic here in the Tri-Cities, so we're a great community resource. And we are here to make sure that anyone facing a cancer journey is supported and taken really well care of.
At the Cancer Crushing Breakfast, the foundation breaks down the past, present, and future news about the impact of cancer care in the region. Also to discuss the foundation's focus on prevention, early detection, treatment, and survivorship. Along with that, a panel you'll only experience at this breakfast and stories from cancer survivors.
We've got 5 of our best physicians that will be at the Cancer Crushing Breakfast answering some panel questions. And then, of course, we are sharing a little bit about 2 survivor stories.
The event is free to attend with no upfront ticket cost, and the foundation is raising money to support the Cadlick Tri-Cities Cancer Center. It's taking place tomorrow morning at 7:30 at the 3 Rivers Convention Center, sponsored by Hanford Mission Integration Solutions. You do have to RSVP, and there are only a few spots left. You can contact the Tri-Cities Cancer Center Foundation to get involved. In studio, I'm Riley Fitzgerald. Jessica, I'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Riley. And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, meteorologist Tiffany Savona has your first full forecast. She'll let you know if you need to keep your jackets with you for today. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
It's the biggest sale of the season at Furniture Row. So get ready, because everything is on sale. Save on living, dining, and bedroom. Plus, 4 years, no interest. The biggest sale of the season, on now at Furniture Row.
Time for a new roof? Let Eminent Roofing replace it with a product so good, you'll never have to replace it again. Our roofs come with a limited lifetime warranty. Never replace your roof again.
With the rain and wind comes roof damage. Don't wait till it's an emergency. Call today to receive 0% financing on approved credit.
So if it's time for a new roof or siding, let Eminent Roofing replace it with our certified installers.
Because when it's all said and done, this is the sign you'll want in your yard.
Visit us at our new urban wine bar in historic downtown Kennewick. Choose from a variety of wines and food from our expanded menu. Enjoy time with friends old and new. After hours with riverfront views from our shaded patio, we are Murray Gaston Wine Bar.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. Find yours with Ford F-150. Gas, hybrid, or all electric. Whether it's towing, powering up, or getting from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, what you choose to do with that much power is up to you. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Get 1.9% for 72 months on an F-150 and up to $15,000 total savings on an F-150 Lightning. Only at your local Ford dealer.
Now is a great time to get an offer you'll love on the Accord Hybrid and CR-V Hybrid. Inventory is here, so bring on the fun. Bring on the weekend getaways. Bring on the memories. And get a great offer on a Honda, named the 2023 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value Brand. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or hurry into your local Honda dealer today.
Throw away your distance and reading glasses. Join Drs. Kopstein and King for a free live webinar April 25th. And find out if RLE is right for you. K2 Vision RLE. No readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts.
It all starts with a Chevy truck. Chevy Silverado with the TurboMax engine and best-in-class standard torque. And Chevy Silverado HD with up to 14 available camera views. Do more in a Chevy truck. Get yours now. Get $5,000 total value on Silverado, LTZ, and High Country models when you trade in an eligible vehicle. Or during Chevy truck season, get as low as 0.9% financing in all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups.
See your community Chevy dealers.
It's the biggest sale of the season at Furniture Row. So get ready because everything is on sale. Save on living, dining, and bedroom. Plus, 4 years, no interest. The biggest sale of the season on now at Furniture Row.
This newscast sponsored by Washington State Department of Revenue's Working Families Tax Credit. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Tiffany Savona.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. This should put you in a good mood on this Tuesday. It's a beautiful shot outside of our Legends Casino Hotel Skycam in Richland. Look at those mid-level clouds creating a colorful sky. And look at all the trees blooming. We have a lot of color popping up in the foreground there as we continue to see this warmer weather. Now, unfortunately, with the trees blooming, that's contributing to those high pollen counts and will likely stay in that high range over the next few days. Temperatures right now on the chilly side, we're down to 40 in Tri-Cities, 41 Walla Walla, 41 in Toppenish, 36 in Yakima, and 39 in Ellensburg. There is still a little bit of a breeze out there. It's a bit stronger in Hermiston and Pendleton, Walla Walla along the foothills of the Blues and up into portions of the Simcoe Highlands and into the Kittitas Valley. That is where we do have more of a wind chill factor this morning. It feels more like the 30s out there. These are the numbers you need to dress for. So hopefully you can find that heavier winter coat quickly this morning because you will need it. It feels like 37 in Tri-Cities. Connell feels like 37 at Hanford, 35 Walla Walla, 31 in Yakima, and it feels like 23 in Cle Elum. The winds are not going to be quite as strong today. There will be a little bit of a breeze, but the exception will be across the Kittitas Valley where the wind advisory has been extended today to include the times between 1 o'clock and 8 o'clock. That's when the winds will be the strongest in places like Ellensburg, where we could see wind gusts as high as 50 miles per hour. Keep in mind, we saw wind gusts in Ellensburg yesterday up to 65. Completely different story this morning up in Snoqualmie Pass. This is what it currently looks like. It's snowing. It's in the 20s. Visibility has been reduced. Now, the good news is that the pass looks just fine. It looks wet in this picture. So no restrictions, but keep in mind with the wind today, that could create some hazardous travel along I-90. So if you're traveling in that direction, you really need to use caution. Satellite and radar showing those mid and high level clouds streaming in across the state of Washington. That is why we do have quite a bit of cloud cover this morning. This is all thanks to an upper level system. We have that dip in the jet stream overhead, so that's going to keep the clouds and the cooler weather around today. Now we'll start to see a pattern change over the next few days. This upper level system starts to shift south, still bringing snow to portions of Canada and the northern tier. But our warming trend will begin as we watch that bridge of high pressure develop offshore, and then we'll start to get the influence of that high as we head into the end of the work week and certainly this weekend. So today, more clouds than sun, a cool day, not nearly as windy as yesterday, but there will be a breeze out there. Remember that wind advisory in effect for Ellensburg and the Kittitas Valley. 62 for your high temperature in the Tri-Cities, only 56 Walla Walla, 58 in Yakima. Hard to believe we were in the 80s on Sunday, so a big change there. Tonight, we're down into the low and middle 30s. The winds diminish, but I think the cloud cover, at least we'll have enough of it to prevent a frost from happening. And we can still see frost and freezes this time of year. The growing season has already started. So the average date of our last spring frost, really from now through the end of the month in Tri-Cities, Walla Walla, and Hermiston, a little bit later in the year in Pendleton and Yakima. So do not plant anything just yet. We have a couple weeks to go. Your 7-day forecast showing that we'll see a warming trend. We're back in the 70s on Friday in Tri-Cities, mid to upper 60s this weekend, and it's looking pretty dry over the next 7 days, if not more. Walla Walla chilly today and tomorrow. Hermiston breezy today with the 60s continuing and 70s popping up next week. Jessica?
Thanks, Tiffany. And here's a look at what's ahead on Good Morning America.
I'm sorry,
In
Aaron.
this morning's GMA First Look, a parent just trying to make his kid happy.
We're gonna build an octopus tank?
Thank you so much. Cameron Clifford from Edmond, Oklahoma, surprising his 9-year-old son Cal with a mail-order California two-spot octopus, a creature Cal has always been fascinated by.
I've just loved them since I was 2, because they're the closest things to aliens, and they're just so cool.
But they quickly learned having an octopus as a pet was a lot harder than it seemed.
We kind of estimated that there were about between 40 and 70 eggs, but every one that hatched that I saw, I was able to catch and contain, and it was exactly 50.
So what's next for the Octomom and her family, both aquatic and human? It's all coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Becky Worley, ABC News, Oakland, California.
Things are looking up, I've got symptom relief. Control of my Crohn's means everything to me. Control is everything to me. Control is everything to me.
We're going to get to your first alert forecast in just a moment, but we begin with a look at this morning's top stories. Starting off, firefighters worked to put out a fire that broke out in a backyard area in a Kennewick neighborhood early this morning. The call for help came in just before 1 a.m. after flames could be seen in the backyard area of a cluster of houses on South Irby Street. Crews spent some time moving around the backyards to make sure the fire was out, and the cause of the fire has not yet been released. The Pasco City Council has voted unanimously to put an end to the Downtown Pasco Development Authority. Council member Leo Perales took to social media and says the next step is to hold those accountable for losing the community's trust and get justice. And we'll have more on this story tonight on Apple Valley News Now at 5 and 6.
You'll need to bundle up this morning with temperatures in the 30s and 40s, but with that breeze out there, it feels more like the 30s everywhere. It feels like 37 in Tri-Cities, 35 Walla Walla, 31 in Yakima, and it feels like 30 degrees in Ellensburg. So today won't be nearly as windy as yesterday, but we're still going to have gusty winds in the Kittitas Valley. Ellensburg still under that wind advisory. The rest of us, it'll be mostly cloudy and cooler, highs in the upper 50s and lower 60s. We will see a warming trend start tomorrow. It'll be gradual though. Mid and upper 60s Wednesday, Thursday with more sunshine. 70s return for the Tri-Cities Friday, Saturday, and continue right into the weekend. Yakima 58 degrees today with more clouds and sunshine. 60s return tomorrow, more sunshine by the end of the week and into the weekend as temperatures slowly climb into the mid and upper 60s. And that Earth Day icon on next Monday because that is Earth Day. Walla Walla, a chilly today and tomorrow. 56 today, 59 tomorrow, and then the 60s return with more sunshine Thursday and Friday. Mid and upper 60s Saturday and Sunday, getting close to 70 on Monday. Hermiston, 60 today with a lot of clouds, breezy. 62 tomorrow, mid and upper 60s with more sun Thursday and Friday. The weekend looking pretty good, not nearly as warm as last weekend. And notice that there's really not any chance for rain in at least the 7-day forecast. And it's looking pretty dry beyond that 7-day forecast as well. So finally getting up to where we should be by the end of the week. Jessica?
Thank you, Tiffany, and thanks for waking up with us and watching Good Morning Northwest. GMA is next, and your local news is back tonight at 5. And you can always find the latest updates on our website, applevalley.newsnow.com. Have a terrific Tuesday, and we'll see you tomorrow.